And their song is very impactful, especially during these times. Like,
Yes.
it's definitely something that everybody needs to hear. And it's unfortunate that it still continues. Hopefully, I can't even say hopefully, there needs to be a change, period.
It does.
Point blank,
It
bottom
does.
line.
Mm-hmm.
And we could talk all day and night about black on black crime, but this has been going on for over 400 years.
And Kim, don't you know how I feel about that?
Yeah, no, I know. I know.
Because white people do stuff all the time, and they not screaming white on white anything.
Nope.
Exactly.
Nope.
Exactly.
We the only ones putting labels on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no.
Yeah.
Change the narrative. Change the narrative.
Change it. That's it. You're right.
Yeah. So now, dead or alive, or dead in or alive, who would you like to collaborate with?
I can run it down. I'm gonna go producer first. Producer, definitely Dr. Dre. Definitely.
Really? You going to the West?
Yeah, I'm going to the West. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a up north, but I'm a big West fan, man. I'm a big West fan. So Dr. Dre, producer. Rapper, I'm gonna mess your minds up rapper wise. Rapper, Rakim.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That makes sense.
He's dope.
That makes sense.
I'm gonna go with the God.
Yeah. So you gotta go with the great. If you're gonna do it, you gotta do it big or go home.
Or go home.
R&B, let me see. I'm gonna be honest with you. Just because he's a mind that he's written so many hits, Smokey Robinson. I definitely want to
He had to have sold his soul to the crossroads because Smokey, he the only one left. All the Temptations, everybody, they gone. They gone. Otis.
Yeah, Otis still left.
Otis stay like, yeah, he's the only one. Ain't nobody here for you, Otis.
Ain't nobody come and see you, Otis.
Thank you.
Just know I'm here.
And that line means something now because he the only one.
Exactly.
They might not have came to see me, but I'm here.
Thank you.
So definitely Smokey. Definitely because he's one of the phenomenal writers of
he is.
generation.
And people don't, the younger generation really don't know. That man is great.
He wrote the majority of the stuff for the Supremes and all, and for Motown, right?
Yeah.
Period. He was a writer before it was
he wrote mostly the Temptation hits.
Yes.
So it's no Smokey Robinson, no Temptation. That's how I look at it.
So now, because I know Anderson .Paak used Smokey Robinson, which was so surprising.
He is, Anderson .Paak is another phenomenal. I got introduced to him almost 2 years ago, and he's phenomenal.
Yeah,
he has
he's
that
on another level.
Singer, rap. I'm like, yo, I wish I could sing, because if I could sing, I'd be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Because he is phenomenal. Like,
he working with Smokey. I mean, it just was a vibe, with their music. And I'm like, wow, and you don't have that many younger folks saying, I want to go back. I want to have that feeling. I want to be able to connect with the older generation and make something new, create something different for everybody to vibe out to. You don't even hear that no more, You don't.
And didn't Smokey have a new song come out? Am I tripping?
I think he did, and he had a video.
Charlie Wilson. Was it Charlie?
Charlie Wilson and Smokey.
Thank you.
Yep,
See, because I'm like, I follow Charlie Wilson, and I could have sworn, I'm like, they got a new song out.
Yeah.
Uncle Charlie's still getting busy.
Listen, I tell the story every time. Me and my daughter went to a concert. It was Fantasia, Johnny Gill, and Charlie Wilson. Just know we left out limping, and it wasn't because of Fantasia, because she dropped it like it's hot.
Yeah,
it was Charlie. This dude got he got a battery pack or something in his damn back. He goes.
Yeah.
You want to party with Charlie Wilson. Party.
Yeah.
And not only that, the hits. Come on now, from the Gap Band.
Gap Band, yep. Even up to now, his single career, he has a. You know what? It's rejuvenation, because Charlie went through so much back in those times with the drugs and all that other stuff.
He did.
Like, he bounced back, and he's bounced back.
Didn't he?
Charlie's been around he's been around, I mean, back then, but we talking about in this generation now, he's been around almost damn near 10, 15 years. So
even his work with Snoop and Pharrell. Come on now.
Yep. And that's the thing. Like, A Love of One Woman actually brought him back together, and he tells the story.
Yeah, he does.
You know, this dude, again, he couldn't buy the Birkin. This lady seen him down and out and all that and helped him get back on his feet. You know, and that's deep when somebody can see something in you, you know?
Yep.
So he's a testament.
Yeah. Okay, so notes. So what can we expect off the album? What can we hear that's gonna, like, is it something that we can ride to in our car, just take those long rides and jam out, or is we in the club? What we listening to?
I think this one right here is more or less it's a vibe. The whole album's a vibe. So I feel like for anybody that's going on a long road trip on a Saturday morning, you can listen to Watch the View. That's the type of vibe it gives. It's really no party side to it. It's really no party side to it. It's just a mellow track that I think you can sit down. And I'm gonna put this out there. A lot of old heads can sit down and listen to this project.
That's my kind of
this young man and can tell who my influences are musically, and it won't just be hip hop. It'd be like, okay, hip hop, but then it'd be like, oh, this kid listened to Commodores, or he listened to Earth, Wind and Fire, who's my favorite group of all time. Earth, Wind and Fire. I don't know how much I heard Earth, Wind and Fire when I was growing up, but I'm telling you, I did. I thought my mother and father was in the group the way they played them. So at the end of the day, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. It's I wouldn't say it is for the older crowd, but it's more or less, even if you're 25, young, and sit down and listen to something that's of substance, that's something that can give you, because to be honest with you, behind the scenes, if you really listen to my words, I'm telling a story and Watch the View. And the view, it changed, because the funny thing about that title, Watch the View, was supposed to be my ancestors before me that was watching, and I was the view. So it wasn't saying that I'm bigger than somebody, was saying they watched me. They watched over me up to this point.
I like that. I like that.
It changed because when JB passed away, it was like, this is why this happened. Because you don't never question God. It's sad that, my God was taken away, and I wish he still was here. But I feel like he's still with me, and I feel like now, instead of him watching, it's me watching the view and watching him. So that's what it really means to me. And that's what Watch the View really means.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Because we have a tendency to forget, you got people watching over you, but why are we not watching them? This is why so many people in society fail, because you got to remember that people that came before you. You have to remember that. You have to remember that. I can remember talking to my great-great-grandmother.
That is so deep.
Yeah, I remember talking to all these people. I remember friends that committed suicide that I still felt like, man, why they not here? And it's like, I've been here all the time. I may not be here, but I'm still here
in spirit.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing for me, even with the COVID, because it's affecting the most vulnerable, which is the older population. That's why I feel like people really kind of don't care. And what people don't understand is that's our history. We're losing history.
Yes.
And all those people, the lives of, 200 and how many, gone. And because of who this, if it was affecting the young, then, and even if it was affecting kids like that, I think people would move differently. But because they're like, oh, they live their life. No, but that's a wealth of knowledge that we're going to lose. That's our history.
And who's going to take that? Who's going to take that stance?
Exactly, because it's a wrap.
Nobody.
Not if they run out here buying Birkin bags and stuff like that.
What?
It's getting crazy out here. It really is, and our people need to wake up. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I'm tired of people making excuses about the man been holding us down. Get over that and get to it the way you got to get to it.
Yeah, we got to refocus our priorities
and support each other.
And that's you saying that is the big, because you know what? I'm in the music industry. Independent, so be it. But this is what I be talking about. Even coming back home up north, is no love being shown in these circles. And at the end of the day, if we come together and show, yes, competition, I get it. Totally, I get it. But at the end of the day, as Black people in these things that we do, whether radio, media, music, whatever, we need to stick together.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
I'm not in competition with nobody. I'm in competition with myself. I want to be a better person I was a year ago. The person I was a year ago, I'm not going to be this person.
I'm not. Not last week, not yesterday.
Not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. That's just, I have too much I have too much to lose. I'm gonna say that. I have too much to lose for me to sit here and just be the same person I was 5 years ago. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
And we were at our best when we support each other. As you see, even, and I, you know, me and Kim have a lot of, we talk all the time. We talk every day. And I was just like, even when you look what was going on with Martin Luther King and when they were doing the civil rights, they all didn't get along. And that's what I love to see. The fact that it wasn't the fact of they didn't get along, but for a common goal to get the job done, you put all of that stuff aside until we understand it does. I don't have to, you know, particularly like a certain person, but to get the goal done, we got to stick together. And we can keep the infighting in. That's not everybody's business. But collectively, what can we do?
So now I have a question for you, because you made a very valid point about the love and support you get in the tri-state area. Do you find that you get more love and support other areas?
Now I do. I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel that way when I moved out of the tri-state. When I came back, now I feel that way. I get love from other people around the world. That's how I feel. And at the end of the day, I just think for everybody's so much in competition mode when it comes. And we was taught that way. It's not. I'm not knocking nobody. We was taught that way when we was coming up in this industry, and you shouldn't have been taught that way. Competition, but it's to a certain extent. And we talking about Black Lives Matter and power to the people. Then let's do this together.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of it, believe it or not, in the tri-state area. I see a lot of it. It's
a lot of what?
A lot of that you're in competition and, you know, you stepping on somebody's toes if you decide to have the same thought or a similar thought, or
Kim,
you get chosen over somebody else. And
listen, it's not music, it's not art, it's not in. You know, that is embedded in our fibers since what?
Slavery. And
they have been pitting us against each other forever. And that's the thing. We've been the pawn in a game that has been going on forever.
400 years,
forever.
And it's in plain sight, and we don't. That's the crazy part. We in plain sight, and you don't see it. Like you have to.
I'm like, come on.
Like people say, like, yo, Yolanda, you said this about somebody. Nah, man. When I make music to give messages out to people. That's what I do. I don't do that to send shots out to somebody. I'm trying to be the king. Because if I was,
and how did you even put yourself in there?
I don't
people
even
inject themselves.
Yeah, I don't even want to get into none of that stuff.
You in a competition you ain't even know you was in.
Right. Exactly. People create these false narratives, and I'm like, I wasn't even talking about you. What are you talking about? But anyway, keep it moving. Keep streaming.
So okay, so how can they get the music, and where can they find you, Notes?
You can get my music on all digital media platforms. Basically Spotify, Apple Music. If you go to my page, which I'm gonna give my handles now. If you go to my page on IG at Notes82_ on IG, you can find the albums. There's a link in my bio. You can click on the link and you can watch the view. For all my other music, you just Google me, Notes82, it'll pop up.